servants of the Most High, we must eagerly plant the seed. Understand we do not possess the power to make the seed grow, only the Father. The key being missed is the art of playing your position. Trust Yah to do what he said he will do. He will get the increase. He gets the credit. The Most High showed me the end result before I knew the path. And when I asked, he just said, follow me.
You see, cause push is what the doctor told mommy when she was birthing me. We push it, make it through tribulations and life adversity. The pusher is a term for a person selling narcotics. A pushover is what church is now cause of lack of knowledge. Information must be factual, literal, therefore actual. Be leery of the ones taking lies and making them practical. We have to pull the skirt up on shepherds who out there lying. If we don't, then there's a chance that we may all end up in frying. Gotta push to the limit, let's get it. If you a soldier, gotta love for the truth, and my passion just makes me bolder. Got a crew rolling with me, we sticky, yeah, how a shot of glue. We holding us together through him, there's nothing that we can't do. It's time, ask the question, who blessing me, where my help come from? Yeah, how I do it all through his work, yeah, how a shot. So let's get it, if you with it, go grab it so you can have it. Time for playing games, there's up tricks off for kids, you silly rabbit.
I pledge allegiance to the Most High, who is the Alpha and Omega. And through the blood of Yahweh Shai, his son that died for me, I am reconciled to my Father in heaven. Under Yah, whose mercy is everlasting. One truth, if accepted, will bring salvation to all.
We gotta push to get truth from the people pushing us lies. Speaking of lies, you know the devil, he always come in disguise. A fancy suit, a nice physique, some money and pretty out, but he's a fire-breathing dragon who's helping on telling lies and revelations. There's this beast and he giving this soul a rush. She's dressed in purple and in scarlet, yeah, that be that whole disguise. It's all it represent the church or authority telling lies. That be she riding on his roam. You better open up your eyes to water. Bahashim, yeah, I was shy. I thank you for this blessing. Time to wake up from the sleep so we can teach that whole lesson. Less and less I feel traditional. The most I rock with spiritual. His Ruach here to help download this truth just like it's digital. We miserable and shattered, been that way since we've been scattered. Now y'all waking up as people. Check this out, there's none equal. Most I knew what he was doing when he sent this strong delusion. Fall in love with seeking truth and he'll confirm this next conclusion. Strong
delusion. Physically powerful, morally vigorous, deeply rooted, false idea or theory, held persistently and abnormally, accepted as truth, especially by faith or authority rather than from personal knowledge, but is in fact a falsehood.
You gotta push to manage damage implanted by the satanic papal power. Yeah, that hoe giving gifts out just like she's Santa. Satan switch the end around and see just what I'm saying. And they gifts be wrapped in lies designed to spread their propagation. No more waiting, time to get up, get out. Wake up the nation, need a phrase from Yasharal or Azo Israel. Awaken, deacon sleeping, elders snoozing. The congregation be losing. Pastor serving wine from Babylon, got everybody moving. Think you know it, cause you older and done been in for a minute. Lack of knowledge while we perishing, no need to be offended. See, the truth is not rhetorical, it's timely in the season. When it's spitting proper format, there's no room left for deceiving or misleading, which result when ones insert their own opinion. Just like Adam when he tripped out and gave Hashatan dominion. We've been subject to the lie, but know this truth, it will prevail. I'ma love watching the devil and his whole crew burn in hell. Push.
Welcome. We are back in the house. This is Real Talk 101, The Devil Exposed, on a Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4 p.m. And the hosts are in the building. My name is Brad Trammell, Mr. Orlando Boyd is sitting to my left. And what we do here on a week-to-week basis is we rap, man. We keep it 100. We keep it real. On the past week's revelations, conversations, readings, prayers, any correspondence that we've had with the Most High, what he's conveyed to us and what we've gathered from him and his limitless wisdom. And we just rap about it. We rap about it. And a lot that you hear on this program is going to be foreign to you. It could be some things you've never heard of before. So what I usually do is I ask for everyone to pray a prayer for the indwelling of the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, who will lead and guide into all truth and give you discernment to let you know if we lying, if we telling the truth or not. Because Yah cannot lie. He's incapable, and his spirit is the same. And how we usually open up, we have prayer requests. We say a word of prayer, we testify, and then we jump into the message as usual. Today is straight from the Ruach. There's been nothing prepared. And again, you're going to witness how the Spirit can use willing vessels. And let this be a lesson to you also. That you ain't got to be prepared. You ain't got to be... Matter of fact, if you were prepared, you wouldn't need the Most High. So in several situations of your life, look at where you can have his guidance and his assistance instead of you on your own and making your own effort to do things. And then try him out before it changes. It'll change your life, I promise you. But yeah, with that, man, we gonna wrap today. We gonna wrap. See how long we go. How's it going, bro? What's going on with you today?
Man, I'm here. You know, had a chance to get a little R&R, so I'm a little rejuvenated. This whole experience is tiring at this point, so I don't expect to be 100% until it's all made new. But you know, I'm here, ups and downs. You know, as far as prayer requests go, keep it simple. You know, people going through stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot going on, man. Excuse me, but Most High's in control. You know, they know this, and you know, that endurance thing plays a big role. Just gotta make it through. You know, and you don't be so pressed to be the first one to cross the finish line, but make sure you cross.
Yeah.
Cross that joint at some point, man. Whether you crawl on your hands and knees, that somebody dragging you, whatever the case, get across the finish line. Though, people going through it. The Most High, you know, I pray that He be with those who are going through it, flat out, just like that. You know, I don't know the ins and outs of everybody's issues. For myself, this is amazing how He talks and impresses me with certain stuff. When I want to beat myself up and count myself out or cuss myself out, on my knees this morning, in the midst of praying, I'm cussing myself out in my head. It felt weird. You know, I had to catch myself. You know, and ask the Most High to forgive me for letting my thoughts interfere with the prayer. You know what I'm saying?
So for the real.
It felt wild, but it was legit. You know what I'm saying? Because I was wrong. But you know, it's y'all knows us better than we know ourselves. So if He be with those who are steady seeking, I'm like, smack the stag on fly. Be with those who are steady seeking, and that's the enemy. You know, harassing like he do. Yeah, He be with those who are steady seeking Him, and continue to be with us as we move forward, yo.
That's a fact. Yeah, my prayer requests don't vary too differently. I know a lot of people that dealing with inconveniences and hardship this week. For the better part of it, I think they have passed now, but so many other people, like you said, dealing with stuff we don't even know about. So continual prayer for that, for endurance in general. Man, everything's good on the front. Y'all has been merciful. Y'all has been gracious and merciful in every area of my life. And I want to affirm what you said of like cussing yourself out in the midst of prayer. Most High when I start doing that, He instantly says, pray for somebody else. He doesn't say it with angst or with something like that. He's like, start praying for other people. I know you. I got you. He said, start praying for. So immediately, my mind goes to my family first, and I go down the line, talk about each one of them, and then I ask them. I was like, bring them to my mind. Whoever I'm supposed to be lifting up, and I go through the whole crew, our crew, my prayer brothers who I pray with on Tuesday and Thursday, my brothers who I rap to on Monday night, and I just go through everybody, man, because this joint is serious. It's just like you said, it's about endurance, and man, I'm thankful for the trial to endure. This thing ain't supposed to be easy, man. You ain't supposed to skate up in this thing. Nobody who will make it will have made it easily. Nobody. So the prayer for endurance is paramount, man. Think about Angie. Angie was dealing with stuff this week she was telling me about. Went to the ER. You know what I'm saying? Most High healed her. She back on her feet. You know, and I ain't hitting it today, but, you know, all praises. He works it out. So, yeah, let's go ahead and say a word of prayer real quick. Get the Ruach up in here, and then we can do something. Most High Yahuwah, glory and praise to your name forever and ever. Thank you, the water, for all that you have done, keeping your men servant who are sitting here right now throughout the entire week. The devil tried several times, I'm sure, to take us out, but he can't, because you won't let him. And that's why I love that about you, man. You got that overrule, you know what I'm saying, with indignation, man. You know, you rule, and whatever you decide is going to stand. And can't nobody do nothing about it. Even though we can be threatened, we can see perils and dangers and all types of calamity happening round about us on this plane down here, you still are in control of it all. Your word says that you set and measured the times before the world began, and then you set them and let them alone until they be consummated and fulfilled. Because we always ask, man, it's like, when is Joe gonna wrap up? You have souls, righteous souls, who cry out, how long? Your word tells us that multiple times, and you sit there and you know when the consummation of times come, your judgment and your wrath is going to be swift, it's going to be absolute, and there ain't going to be nothing to play with. You have also said in your word that people will be laughing and playing and doing whatever, and just like that, just like when the floods came, they took Bama's away, who had been lunching for 120 years. They got swept away. This is exactly what's going to happen to us in the last days. So if anything I give thanks for you for, it's for the knowledge of truth. And not only that, but the desire to love it. Because we don't have that desire. You put it in us. So I thank you for the truth. I thank you for building up a love in us for the truth. And for revealing your truth to us on multiple occasions. You know those of your people right now who are struggling, dealing with a myriad of tests. And I call it that because all of it is to get our attention on you and get our trust and our faith where it needs to be. Because we ain't seen nothing yet. That second seal ain't broken yet. Peace has not been taken away from the earth just yet, as far as I believe. But when it happens, there's going to be a depletion of faith. Your word even says that. This whole thing is the blueprint. Thank you for giving us these books that were hidden. I thank you for giving us the mind to want to read them and research them and know them. And guard the words in our heart, including the Torah. So I'm thankful that you already put that in our hearts too, so that we cannot turn away from you. Man, shoot. All I know is that our purpose here is to do what you would have us to do. So continue to walk with your men servants and our families and our friends and those who may not be where we are, because they are likely going to be attacked because the devil knows who we are. He can't get us. So I pray prayer of protection over them. Thankful for the fact that you've given us peace in the midst of the storm, like what O was talking about this weekend, and the several testimonies that I got with everything that happened with me this week. Thank you for all of that, man. Thank you for preserving and keeping us sane, keeping us going when it seems like we want to clock out. And even in the midst of us cussing out ourselves, man, your mercy and your long suffering is something else. Every time I consider it. So again, Father, thank you. If I don't say nothing else, I thank you for that. Thank you for this studio, for this opportunity that we have that we do not take for granted. And for those that come in and out of the studio, even those that run it, I pray that you place a perpetual blessing, which is in your good nature to do, which you like to do. You like to bless, to forgive, to be merciful, to be lenient. But you are not to be played with. You are still a mighty Elohim of war, as the word says. And that time is coming. So prepare our hearts and our minds. Let's not be distracted by the nonsense that happens around us on a day-to-day basis, but keep us. Let our minds be stayed upon you. Forgive us for our many sins and iniquities. And be with us in this session. Let your Ruach fall afresh on us so that vessels can be used to speak your words and not ours. In the name of your son, Yahushua, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
It's amazing, man. All week, I ain't really too much reading done, but close toward the weekend, man, I can only go over what I went over. I finished second Ezra just last week, and I went through the first 50 chapters of second Baruch. Saw a lot of parallels that I saw with the fasting of the 7 days and getting a word straight from the Most High. But then after I had read that, just making sure I'm familiar again with prophecy and what's going to happen and how the state of things will be as I could see around about me, I jumped over to a bookmark that I forgot I had in my word in Maccabees, in the second Maccabees particularly. There were several instances that stood out. I said I was going to mention today to where the tribe of Judah, Yehuda, and Yehuda Maccabees, or Judas Maccabees, was confronted with conflict to where he was overwhelmed with opposition. Every time the enemy came up against him, he was outnumbered. And this man took no time in even sitting to think about what he would do or what he would say. He got up and he reminded his troops, he reminded his people of the countless battles that the Most High has won for him, of the countless battles that he's won for his people, what he has done, how he's been merciful. He talked about Sennacherib and the angel that went out and slaughtered like 500,000 Bama's, you know what I'm saying? And I know that the number's probably exaggerated, but it might as well have been. And all the times that he delivered his servants in the faces of danger, Daniel in the lion's den, Noah on the ark, how the wall fell of Jericho and ain't nobody even hit the wall. All he did was march around it. He started recounting these events and telling them to the people. And when he did this, the word actually said in Maccabees that he had his army, his boys, in such a frenzy that there was no wall they were not prepared to penetrate. That there was not any beast on earth that they were more capable of overcoming in that state. They were ravenous. They're like, let us at whoever because it's on now. You know what I'm saying? We're with the Father. And they went out and they whooped everybody's behind because, again, the Most High put the fear of them in their heart. And as I'm reading these stories and how when they were confronted with threats, Judas would be like, he put a word out to the people, say, I want everybody to prostrate and pray to the Most High for deliverance. And then sometimes he would be specific. He said, I want to ask them for an angel from heaven to be sent specifically to fight with us. And then they would go out the next day and see this being in shining golden armor, just shaking his armor off while it's glistening in the sunlight, sitting on his horse, looking like he waiting for them. Like that's in Mac. And I'm like, these are the books that they took out because they took Maccabees out. So when I'm reading this, and I'm coming to a consummation with this, I'm just like, for those that know his name, who he has a connection to, who honor him with praise and glory that he is justly due, who do not take his name in vain, have the Torah in their heart, what is impossible for them? Last night I was chilling at an event. It was kind of warm last night. It felt good, but it was a little warm. We ain't had no breeze. And me, in an unsober, maybe unrighteous state, said a silent prayer because the challenge was put towards me almost jestingly. Not saying that the person had any intention of doing so, but just said, why don't you just pray for the Most High to send a breeze? And me in the state of mind I was in, I'm grooving, listening to music, I put something in the air, and I'm just like, I don't even think the prayer took longer than 10 seconds. But I said in my mind, I said, Most High, now you know me. But what little you've shown me, I know you. And if it pleases thee, send a refreshing breeze to cool us off and overlook your servants' misdeeds. And that was it. And nothing happened after I finished praying until that same person looked at me and said, what about that daggone, we need a breeze. As soon as they said it, I swear to y'all, a strong, recognizable, like tangible breeze came flooding in the whole area. You could see all the lights, everything that was hanging loosely just started fluttering in the breeze. And I was like, man, like even within myself, I was like, yo, you heard that? And that's what blows my mind because like I'm in a state of mind to where all my life growing up, I'm thinking if I'm like this, he won't hear me. If I'm like that, ain't no angels with me. But in that moment, he chose to respond. What does that do and what does that say about the Father and how he does things and the mercy that he has towards me? How can my faith not be strengthened? And after hearing your testimony about the beach, which I want you, which I definitely want you to get into in regards to what you prayed for, it's like, young. The initial word for the beginning of this program is, do not lose faith in the Most High. Not now. I don't care how many monkeypox vaccines clinics are opening up in the city. Don't lose faith now. I don't care when COVID come back strong, we got to be locked up again, or when another missile salvo goes into Taiwan and the United States is like, all right, we going to war, or whatever happens in Ukraine or Iran, or bump all that stuff. We got distractions aplenty. Do not lose sight and faith in the Most High. Not now. Not now, man. Because he's still there. He ain't never gonna be gone. But reach out to him with sincerity and truth and watch what he does, man. Because he ain't gonna do what you think he gonna do.
Yeah. Practical, purpose-filled prayers, man. Practical and purpose-filled. And believe that the person who has impressed you to talk to him hears you. And he loves when we ask him to do things only he can do.
Yeah.
Only he can do it. Right? Those I knows me. He knows me very well. And I love being out in the elements. Well, not so much the heat. I hate being out in the heat, but like the storms. I love storms.
Storms, yeah.
I love the atmosphere gets agitated, and there's nothing that men can do about it. They harness the power of storms. They can't do anything to stop it though. Me and Dwayne was talking last night about how walked home in a tornado that came. I didn't know it was a tornado that was passing through Waldorf at the time in 2002 or 2004. One of them. John Hitler played it and dogged it. I'm walking leaning against the wind, literally like leaning. That's how hard the wind was blowing in the rain. It was fun to me. You know what I'm saying? This military dude put him over and told me to get in his car. I said, man, I'm good. He said, man, get in the car, man. You know what's going on out here? I said, man, there's a storm. He said, man, there's a tornado. I was like, I didn't know that. Get in the house and start hailing and all this. But yeah, being up there, that was a beautiful experience to me. You know what I'm saying? But I was telling my brother, I posted a couple of joints on Facebook, did a couple of live joints, but the weather was not calling for rain up there. And I was jolly upset about that. I wanted a storm. We went to Myrtle Beach, storm came through. Balcony facing the daggone beach. I'm just watching this massive black cloud move across. Who knows how far away it was? But just moving across the water. I love stuff like that. But like I said, that I think it was Thursday morning. Wake up, not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? It might have been a few little baby clouds, or a couple nice big puffy white clouds. But it was blue sky, sun shining. I was like, man, I want a storm.
Yeah.
So I want you to. I might have asked him, man, can I get a storm? You know what I'm saying, like that? Can you
just like that?
Just like that. I can't remember exactly how I said it, but it was like, man, I want a storm. I wasn't complaining like that. Man, I wish it would be a storm. I'm like, yeah, can you hook me up with a storm? Like, can I get a storm?
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the beach, sitting around looking around, and I got up for whatever reason one time and looked up, and one of them puffy white clouds was turning gray at the bottom. I'm like, Jenna, look at this. She wasn't paying attention to what I was paying attention to. I was like, man, sure. I said, okay.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's he's formulating a plan. You know what I'm saying? He put it together. I'm like, all right, best. They go on. It ain't rain. All day. It ain't rain. But the wind started picking up when it started to get a little darker. I heard it rain down here. Matter of fact, she checked something on the ring camera. You could see the ground was wet. It rained down here. Then the mailman came or something. We about to get ready to go to eat, and that wind got to whipping. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh yeah. I said, something coming. I couldn't see that no more because it got dark. And the big fat drops started falling. I said, oh, here go that storm. Like Doc Brown on Back to the Future. Storm. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, that they didn't say it was going to be here. It's coming. And we went down to the beach and got some beautiful pictures of lightning. You know what I'm saying? That's all I really wanted, is to look out over the water and watch the lightning light up. You know what I'm saying? So Mozart gave me what I wanted there. But the crazy part about it is on the way home, we got smashed. We got smashed by heavy rains. And it's crazy, right? I'm trying to get the weather on WTOP, right? All the stations in the BMW changed themselves. I don't know if it's because we were at, it still don't make sense. All the way from where 95.5 would be, it was like 95.7. Where 103.5 was 103.9. And none of those stations have anything to do with this area.
Right.
I couldn't pull up nothing. It wouldn't let me use the manual dial to get to 103.5. I'm just trying to hear if the bridge is closed. Because the big bridge was closed, I'd have had to go all the way back up the coast and come around all the way up and then come down 95 if they closed the bridge. Or I had to sit and wait for whatever. So I pulled up on my phone, WTOP app, right? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't let that play at first. I'm like, okay, this nigga messing with me, right? I know it ain't nothing but the enemy. Right. And it's raining hard as a mug, Slim. Hard as a mug, John. I'm just watching the clouds look like they're wrapping around us. You know what I'm saying? You can see them on this side, you can see them on this side. Like, we're in it. I'm trying to get away from it. You know what I'm saying? It's just steady creeping up over top of us. Raining. Like I said, you ride through pockets of no rain and then rain. It was a trying experience, nerve-wise, because we was on a little, 2-lane back road type stuff coming up from Ocean City. People speeding with their hazards on. If you got your hazards on, you should be going about 35, easily. 40 at the most. You doing 60, 65 with your hazards on. Slamming on brakes. It seemed like everybody that I got behind slowed down. And then when I got over, they sped up. Just like coming here today. And I be trying not to cuss people out in my head, but it don't make sense. You drive, there's nothing in front of them. As soon as I get over, they slow down. or they'll jump over in front of me and go slower than what they were in the lane that they was in. But then you ride past and they looking at you like, yeah, you going. They just doing. You know what I'm saying? That's the way. It's too much that transpires like that now, where people just oblivious to what they're doing. That's why you can't even get mad at them, because I don't think it's not intentional.
It's not.
You know what I'm saying? It's not intentional. They're just so absent-minded, so unaware of their surroundings. They just doing. But the enemy knows. He knows that it's pissing you off. That it's pissing me off. You know what I'm saying? These people, they don't understand the rules of the road no more. What the fast lane is, what the pass lane is, what the slow lane is. They just feel like I'm gonna do what I want to do, with no regard for the people around them. That's how this experience is transformed now, man. These people just doing whatever. I watched this documentary today, Trainwreck. Interesting joint on Netflix about Woodstock '99. I didn't even know there was a Woodstock in 1999. They redid it. You know what I'm saying? It was 69. They tried it in 94, but it was like they didn't make no money. So this joint right here, Slim, when you look at what Woodstock was, so 69, between our grandparents and our parents' age, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Because my mother, she wouldn't have gone. But I mean, I guess it would have been her age range or whatever. Man, they was up to joint on some chill time, you know, smoking good weed, eating mushrooms, popping ecstasy. It was about love and peace. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Togetherness. This joint right here, you think about what was going on in 1999. The lineup of music, they should have already known it was gonna be trouble. You know what I'm saying? You got these rock bands. Right. You know what I'm saying? Hard rock. And you're talking about a mosh pit of about 30, 40,000 people in the midst of a crowd of about 250,000, but the pit is just going crazy. And these people looking like, oh, well, you know, we think everything's going good. So no, it's not. They got all type of footage. I mean, you got. It was crazy. It's three episodes. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? It got to the point where they had it at an Air Force base. So you got blacktop, you know, runway, the heat, and it's like 100 degrees.
Whoa. Yeah. It's at a run?
They had it at a military base to make sure nobody could break in. Oh. Because in '94 they lost a lot of money because people coming over the fence or whatever. So they had it at a secure location. But it was just everything was just great. It was an oven. You know what I'm saying? They let the kids bring the water in. And that girl was like a bottle of water at that time was like 70-some cents. They was charging $4 for a bottle of water up there, raping them with the prices. Yeah. Dogged everybody out the first day. Second day, the porta potties wasn't getting cleaned out. You know what I'm saying? So by like the end of this girl said she got diagnosed with something called trench mouth. She had ulcers in her mouth for drinking contaminated water.
Whoa.
The health inspector took some samples of water. He said they came in after they took the samples the next day and they looked at them under the microscope and it was growing. It was just all type of bacteria in the water that they up there drinking. You know what I'm saying? Splashing around in what they thought was mud, but it was really the run over from the porta potties and the water.
Stop.
Yeah, tripping. It's mad. I'm sitting there like, Joe, these people can't smell this.
Yeah.
You can't smell it. But by the end, and I hate to, but they tore that spot up. Them youngins tore that spot up, Joe.
Smosh pit.
You just thought, you just thought a bomb went off. They tore the stages down. Because after the last act, I think it was Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? The dude cut to the leaves like, man, look, man, you need to go out there and say something to the people, man. Try to get them to calm down. I said, man, they're not going to listen to me. Yeah. So what they did, because they had started a fire, they had the bright idea to get these youngest candles, right? For like you're going to have a little...
Yeah.
They took them candles.
A little visual type joint.
Took them candles and set that spot on fire. They took their lighters from them, you know what I'm saying? But then you go give them candles. They went back out that joint and sung a song by, who that black guitarist? Hendrix.
Yeah.
Some
Lenny Hendrix, I think that's what it is.
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimmy.
There it is. Called Fire. Right?
Oh, wow.
So they got to sing about fire, which made it worse.
Yeah.
About 3, 4, or 5 popped up while they was performing.
Yeah.
And it just rolled out. And they left them like that. And then they showed a video of Jimi Hendrix performing. And young was like, oh, nah, you got me messed up, Joe. You think you're going to end this like this?
Yeah.
Man, they tore down the sound stage. They burnt trailers. They went over to where the merchants was at and stole all their stuff, broke into the ATM machines. That joint like a bomb went off the next day. Rightfully so, though. They shouldn't have been overcharging people like that. You know, playing with these young emotions, get them all hyped up,
Spirit.
bring these rock, man.
It's that spirit.
Bro, that joint wild. Check it out. 3 episodes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking 1999. I'm 19. I don't remember hearing anything about any of this.
Yeah.
You know, but I was moving around doing. I wouldn't have been abreast of that anyway. But then they had the artists at. They had all types of water, drinks, you know, nice trailers.
Oh yeah, they was taking care of.
Yeah, but these kids right on the other side of this wall, savage. Tents, like a sea of tents set up. Jokers laying all on the ground, like passing out from heat exhaustion.
I better see this example here. The regular people did not have what they needed, but the superstars and celebrities
Performers.
had everything on the other side of a wall.
Right on the other side of the wall. In excess.
In excess.
Yeah, they made sure that the stars were taken care of. But the people who made it possible by buying $150 tickets, they took a dump on them, literally. Let the boo-boo, they just left them out there. These youngers was, man, and you know, you look at it like, oh, they was wrong. No, I don't think they were wrong. I think they should have anticipated this. They should have had the National Guard on standby for the amount of people. These rock and roll, these people came out that, like Limp Bizkit came out. Brother. It was amazing to see. He was like, man, he from their perspective, it was literally a sea of people. Yeah. And when they got and the people got to jumping and moving, it was just a wave, and it got so flipping. Who was it? It was a group, Korn.
Oh.
I had never heard of Korn.
Oh my goodness, they about as bad as Slipknot. I only know them based on what they look like.
Bruh.
Them niggas look like they came right out of an insane asylum.
Yes.
They be having like pig heads that they put on themselves while they play. Like they're masked. They don't come out there looking regular, like with just no t-shirt. But they got on like black makeup and stuff. I was like, yo.
If you could have seen the reaction that they got from the crowd when they started playing Slim, it was unreal. You just saw, and they talk about the energy. Yeah. So I couldn't imagine being there. And if you was in the middle of that, one day was interviewing one dude, he was like, man, all I kept telling myself was, man, I can't fall. Don't fall. You fall, you getting trampled. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was amazing to watch, you know, and all type of parallels could be pulled from it, you know, as far as what's going on now, how chaotic everything seems to be right now. Yeah. But those performers, the ones trying to keep all of us at bay with their BS, they living the life. But what happens at the end of the show, when the patrons don't get what they want, they tear ish up. Yeah. They tear it up. It's something brewing. You better know it is. I ain't talking about just the violence in the streets.
That's a mean foreshadowing of what's about to happen on a much larger scale.
And that was a huge scale. Yeah. On a way bigger scale. And they got amped with music.
The music is what sets you off. Music taps right into your emotion. Taps right in. Music is such a powerful medium, dog.
Man, the lead singer from Limp Bizkit, after he sized them jokers to reach down inside and pull out all this rage, he come out there with his middle fingers up, tell him to do this, tell him to do that. And when this beat drops, I want you to do this. And at the end of the joke, the dude asked him, like, man, did you think anything about when the people started tearing down the sound stage? He was like, oh, man, well, it was wild. You know, all I said is it wasn't our fault. Yeah, it wasn't. He immediately copped out of that joint and stepped out the camera. But you just told him. To reach down and say, wild out. Basically, well, it wasn't our fault. I'm like, you petty. They was like, but that's the thing. But see, they know this. And the people behind the scenes, the original dude that set up original Woodstock in '69 was responsible for this one. Oh. So he died 3 months after the interview. When they put this documentary together, 3 months after that, he died. And he was just sitting there so nonchalant. Like, you'd almost thought
he was sent.
You almost thought that because they're demeaning. These are old people, older, behind the scenes, planning this event for these youngins, but they not thinking. This older lady that was at Woodstock, she was like, she so poor. She went and got some trash bags, right? Riding around, trying to get the people. This is 1999 kids. This ain't 69 kids. Yeah. They're like, man, for $150, I paid my ticket. You better clean that trash up. Yeah. You know what I mean? I ain't thinking about you, old lady. Well, cuss her out. They get the chance. She's like, oh, these aren't the same. This isn't the same as one. No, it's not the same. What did you think was going to happen? You put all these youngins together, and then they talk about the privilege, because, you know, the majority of the people there was white. You know, like this frat boy mentality. That's what one of the dudes said. It wasn't on peace. It wasn't on love and togetherness. It was on, man, we better than You know what I'm saying? And we hype, and we high,
Yeah.
and we drunk, and this demonic music is playing. What did you think?
Catastrophe. It's interesting you say as an old person who was behind it, man, because I think about I've watched several music documentaries on artists that I thought I knew something about, but it seems like with every one I watch, you go up deep enough to where they get their money and their employment, you got somebody white sitting there, and 90% of the time they Jewish.
Yeah.
Behind the entire music industry, you pump and you say this. Don't talk about nothing positive. We want drugs, sex, and violence 24/7, 365. Put that out there. It's like agents of chaos, man.
Yep. To control the masses. It's by design.
The music, man, I got to talk on this because I knew this was going to come up. Actually, I didn't think I was going to have a chance. But last night we was at that event, like I'm talking about. DJ Youngboy had to be about 20s, 30s. Big, he's a like chunky brother, but he was playing his music. A lot of recent stuff I don't never heard. Of course, it's a lot of chanting, a lot of stuff. But the stuff these Bammers were saying, flat out wicked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about the rap I listened to coming up. Niggas was at least linguistic. They had at least some type of cleverness to the way they said stuff. They ain't just come out. These Bammers like, this on my bed, open up her legs, she gonna F me all night, her friend coming through. Like, they was just, that's just what it was. They was like, they were just talking it. And there was some older folk at the event. And one time I had to go in the house and use the bathroom. There was an older lady. I don't know who she was. Maybe it was her house. I don't know. But she was sitting underneath her porch. And her face was just like this. Just frowned up. Because she was right next to the DJ booth. DJ booth was by the house. Everybody, and I knew why she had that face. Because she was hearing what the hell they was saying. There was no, because I remember I played rap for my parents. He was like, we can't understand what he was saying. You can understand everything this nigga was saying because he had no type of skill and he was saying it. The beat allowed him to just say what he wanted. And I'm like, it was just chaos and chaotic. And I'm just like, you can't control what this brother was going to play. Whoever hired, how he came in, whatever. I ain't even into all that. I'm just saying the status of exactly what you talked about in 99 is even more prevalent now and even more widespread.
That just opened the doorway. 99 is when the door got kicked off the hinges. You know, that was a turning point. That was a turning point in music and movies and everything. Hey, right before 2000. You know what I'm saying? You said you had some rap groups that was, hardcore with their lyrics. You had some grunge. It was some wild stuff. When you talking about when gangster rap, when gangster rap evolved, you know what I'm saying, to where you telling a joker to just go murder, kill, hustle, you know what I'm saying, rob niggas. That's what this is drill music. That's what it's talking about,
yeah,
Joe.
That's it. Yeah.
They talking about spotting ops and sliding and crushing it. Hey, that's what and these youngins out here, that's what they are.
That's what they do.
That's what they are, Joe. That's what they, and it's wild. They live in it. Remember how Shawty was like, she can't believe they scored on her little brother? She used that term. We was at that little joint over there with Washington's. I think it was his name, though, Fields. It was Fields. Over at the little clinic. The joint over there off Marlboro Pike. Little rehab joint or whatever it was.
Okay, yeah.
How we was going there on Wednesdays or whatever.
Yeah.
Little slim young, and then her brother got killed. And she was like, she can't believe they scored. They scored on my brother. I'm like, scored? Are you talking like it's a game? They out here moving around like they in, you know what I'm saying, Call of Duty or one of them video games for real. They got teams, you know what I'm saying? And when they slide on their ops, the ops is the different characters in the game. I'm like, yo, this is crazy what it has turned into. And they serious. Serious. You see all these videos, youngins pull up deep. They youngins though, man. They youngins don't have a clue what life is about. But they out here ready to crush another joker.
They being prepared, man. It's wild because I remember when that type of it came out with that Fortnite mess. Now I know everyone in the world has heard of Fortnite. Fortnite, the basis of that game is a free for all. It's a free for all. You go through the game and you get a gun, and the more people you kill, you pick up what they have, and then that's how you get stronger. If they find a gun or some type of equipment or something like that, you take them out and then you collect everything they got, and then you get stronger.
So if you got a team on Fortnite, it's because you chose to make an alliance?
Yeah.
Every man for himself on that game.
The most basic version is called, I'm forgetting the actual name of the genre that it is. It's Battle Royale. That's what it is. Battle Royale. That's what it's called. You can play it solo or you can play it with your friends. And it comes down to who's ever last team is standing. And if your friend, let's say me and you on a team and you get down or whatever, you get shot, I can come over you and revive you. Now, everybody else is looking to take me out because when all 3 of the members of the team are down, then they out. But if you down and the rest of your team is not, they can come around, protect you, defend you, and somehow strategically revive you and bring you back.
Wow.
In the game.
Right.
But there is no bring backs in real life. There's no respawns. Nigga, you out, that's game. You know what I'm saying? And there are so many games that took Fortnite's premise and build and just expand. Every game has that now. Everybody got a battle royale mode. And so you think about that, and then you think about the music, entertainment, everything is pushing people in the directions like, if you need to survive, you better have a gun, and you better be ready to kill everything else so that you can survive and make it. And so if you have a population that's prepared for that, when all hell breaks loose, like when he said he gonna take peace away from the earth, when that happens and then this is allowed to take place, it's gonna be. If it wasn't for his protection that he said he was gonna put over his people, we all be eliminated. Everybody, fam. And it's that real. These are the times that we living in. These are the times that we got distractions galore. Got plenty of things that happen this week in economics and in politics that do nothing but stoke the fires for war between, you know what I'm saying, our country and China, our country and Russia. These things are going to keep escalating until it actually happens. Y'all already know that. And for those who are hoping and trying to keep themselves focused on their own lives and their own ambitions and endeavors and are not paying attention to this, you're doing yourself a grand disservice. And you're going to come under calamity very rapidly. Because this word has predicted that. You see the signs of the times that are happening. And that's why we get on here and do what we do, fam. Because it's like, can't none of us say that. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm ready for that. Don't nobody. If the word says it's going to be like a time as like it never was and never will be, that means ain't nobody been through something like this. That's how serious it is. That's why I'm like, I know I trip. I know I ain't all the way right. But one thing I know, my loyalty resides with the Most High. It is a fearful thing to fall into his hands. And his word says clearly, fear the one who can not only kill the body, but cast the soul into everlasting damnation. Don't fear the one who can just kill the body. Don't fear him. Don't fear man. You fear the Most High. If you don't know him, you ain't got a respect for him, it's going to be a wrap.
I've seen some of the wildest looking people I've ever seen in my life on that ride up.
Oh, for real?
Man. It's funny. I keep forgetting that I went up. It kept feeling like I was going to the south. You know what I'm saying? Being up there, but seeing some wild looking people. You know, it's just the iniquities of your house. I'm a visitor for the, what do you say? I'm a visitor the iniquities of the father to the third or fourth generation of them that hate me. Brother, you seen Bram Stoker's Dracula?
I have.
Yeah, remember the old man with the 2 buns?
Yeah, that wild nigga.
His face, I saw a dude, bruh, and it's like as I passed him, that looked exact. Look, he was leaned back in his chair, in the seat, like he was trying to hide.
Yeah.
Right? As I passed, and we looked at each other, his face looked just like that Joker, right? I'm like, did you see this? She ain't looking around. I'm trying to see in everybody's car that I pass it by. Because y'all some wild looking jokers up here, man. Oh, you know, Caucasian individuals, of course. But I say that to say this. I passed this one white dude, bald head, glasses, and a dirty pickup truck. I'm thinking skinhead. You know, probably got a whole rack of guns. Love to say nigga, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Joe. And as I passed him, I got to thinking to myself, I'm like, Joe, what if I get up here and find myself in a situation where I'm confronted by some of these types? How would I react? What would I do? You know, how would it play? I'm playing it out in my mind. And Jeanette was like, where'd you go? I'm like, what? She's like, where'd you just go? Because you wasn't here. I started laughing. Like, what you mean? It's like, I saw your face and everything changed.
Oh, man.
Like everything changed. I was like, well, since you asked, when we passed that white dude, you know what I'm saying? I got to plan out in my mind what would happen if I encountered one of them jokers while we up here. She's like, yeah, I figured it was something like that. And lo and behold, we got to the room. I was about to go get me some Jacks. And when I was walking to the gas station, well, on the way, I found $10 on the ground. That was a blessed look. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I feel good about that. That had me, you know, my spirits was up a little bit. I'm like, yeah. But you know how my face be looking. You know, I got my We the Chosen people joint on. You know, around all these daggone. Hey. Yeah, I heard this voice. Couldn't see the person. It was on the other side of the pump. I heard this voice, and I'm just thinking to myself, that voice sounded like it belongs to a jerk. You know what I'm saying? Didn't know what color this person was. I just heard a voice. They didn't have what I was looking for in there, so I had to walk across to the store. So on my way across the parking lot, all I hear is, hey, I'm feeling that bid. That bid game tight. Yeah, that bid. And I look over this goofy looking white boy laid back with these gold Bama frame glasses on, right? I'm looking at him. Like, yeah, man, that bid. And I could see his eyes probably went to my shirt. He's like, man, smile, man. No, he said, smile, MFer. You can smile. And you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at him. He's like, so his girl raised up. Like I'm telling you, I'm walking across the parking lot. They coming from the gas station park, and they're coming at an angle at me. You know what I'm saying? Which they probably, based on what I saw them do, they was gonna come on down, make the left, and go on out the parking lot. She leaned forward and seen my face, and immediately whipped across the parking lot. And they cut across the parking lot, then came down and left. But he yelled out something I'm not gonna repeat on air as they were pulling off. I never stopped. I never engaged him. Except with my eyes, you know what I'm saying? Didn't say one word, didn't cuss him out, didn't say thank you for the beard compliment, didn't cuss him out after he said what he said. But in my mind, I'm like, was this the incident that I was being prepared for? Could this have been something it could have been, especially if I would have reacted like I have in the past. You know what I'm saying? A couple words. Then he was going to stop and get out, and it's going to be whatever it's going to be, or he would have kept on going about his business. But to be out of town, well, I wouldn't have had no win in that situation. I'm out of towner, you know what I'm saying? Can't run. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Angles, you know, I couldn't run. I wouldn't have been able to get away as fast as I would have liked to have gotten away if something would have happened. You know what I'm saying? But I thank the Most High for a level of self-control that I developed that I didn't always have. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't mad. I mean, it was hot. The sun was beaming, so you know what I'm saying? It's one thing to have a tight face anyway, but I'm walking into the sun. So I'm looking at Slim. I ain't have my glasses on or nothing. He's like, man, smile, MFer. You can smile. And it's funny, because my man jumped out on me uptown the other day. He said, man, why you always look so mad, man? What, you need a hug? Come here, man. I want a hug. Give me a hug, right? I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool. It's just what my face look. But for here this other boy said, now, I think there was a lesson in that, right? Because I was trying to tell myself when interacting with these people, you can relax. You can chill out. You know what I'm saying? You here to relax. You know, there's no threats here. You know, because everybody looks like they want to just move out our way anyway. You know, and that feeling in and of itself is amazing. Like people just look like looking at a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? When you're moving around or whatever. But all praise to the Most High, right? Nothing transpired except a little relaxation. But I seen it, and I look at it like this. What if I would have been like, man, I appreciate that, bro. Thanks, man. Man, you know, man, you ain't from right. Who knows what could have transpired, you know, or what was kept from happening. You know what I'm saying? That's why I look back on stuff after the fact. You know, and a couple other incidents took place with some people. You know, a little water park we went to. I see these little youngins trying to cut the line. Reminded me of myself when I was young. They told me, excuse me, sir, my friends are up there. The rest of my group is up there. I'm looking at this little joke. I'm like, two little black boys and a little girl, a little black boy, and a little Indian-looking dude, right? White dude like, you got some friends up there? I was like, man, I remember them days.
Call him.
I remember them days. No, that's what he should have said. Yeah. But they let him go on by. They got up to the next landing. You know, White dude got the arm there. He's like, hey, you're not getting past,
exactly.
You're not getting past me. So by the time we worked up there, I said, man. I said, you know, good and well ain't nobody up that joint just waiting for you. The little boy looked at me. I said, y'all lying, right? He looked, and I'd already seen a little lazy river. Same little jokers. I'm chilling in my rad. They keep trying to flip and getting their rads and feet going everywhere. I'm looking at him, right? I never said anything. I'm just looking at him. He act like he don't see me. Keep on trying to flip right at me. I was waiting for his foot to hit me, so I could just snatch him off his raft, right? You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, no, you know, let me get away from these kids because I'm here to chill. And the white dude behind me was like, ain't nobody up there. My mother wouldn't let me talk like that when I was I like that. Ain't nobody up there for you. I turned back and looked at him, right? I said, you know, he said, man, yeah, I like that. It ained no. He repeated it like 4 times, but he looked like he was a little slow. So I turned around and I said, well, there isn't anyone up there that he knows and is in his group that he's trying to. I said something to him that sounded a little more articulate. He was like, I was like, well, this nigga's slow. This nigga's retarded, yo. You know what I'm saying? But the little boys was looking at me. I'm thinking to myself, like, man, the enemy, even as I'm about to leave, he's still trying to test me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, let me get out this park. Let me get out this state. Take my behind back down the road, yo, before I lose my composure. And a few more other things happened that was just pokes. They were just pokes. Enemy was just poking, like, I'm gonna make you say something. I'm gonna make you do something. Nah, you ain't gonna make me do nothing. Nope.
I had several of them. It's eerie the way you said that. It's like you went somewhere and she caught that. That's very perceptive. I want to commend her on that. Jeanette, that was just, that's phenomenal. But I know that feeling because I've always seen a conflict and then said, what would I have done in that same type of situation? Especially where the odds were not in my favor. And I ain't gonna say it's arrogance or anything, but I was like, man, I know who I'm gonna talk to right before I get into it. And I ain't gonna show no fear because this word says don't have that. Ain't no, and then if I am ever in a point where I get into conflict, the most I knew it was gonna happen. Because I've been in plenty cases where I could have been in conflict and it did not happen. Matter of fact, people avoided me. So I'm like, that opens up your mind. It's like, we should have had words or said something. This person just dipped, left the whole area. And I'm like, wasn't meant to happen yet. Could that conflict have resulted in me being arrested or something like that? Because a big black man committing any type of violence is going to get the cops called. And when they get here, if they see my skin, it's going to be a wrap. That's just how I believe it. It's going to happen. Unless the Most High sees fit to deliver me from whatever situation. So whenever conflict does come, my mindset is to, you know what I'm saying, nothing long or drawn out type prayer, but to call on him kind of like what I was reading in the Maccabees we was talking about earlier, man. And have the expectation for the Most High's intervening. And even if he does not, to have that same mindset as the brothers before the flames, dog, before the furnace. It's like, even if he don't, whatever happens after the aftermath of this, whether I'm just bruised up or beat up or whatever happens is going to be according to his plan. It may not be something conducive, something I want to happen, but to stand and be ready to have that mindset, I think those who are living right now, anyway, with all that we've seen, we gotta have that. Because things are only getting wilder and crazier. So the preparation that your mind has to have is like, okay, at any minute something can be about to jump off. But I got a big joke. I got an ace. I got a trump in the hole with the Most High. Because a lot of people in those situations defend yourself. The only thing that you have is yourself. But for those who have the Most High, you got an extra boost of confidence, man. Extra boost. That's crazy. It's crazy. I think I did that like last night. Seen the Bama at the event. They ain't do nothing to me. I ain't seen nothing to him. But I was like, man, if he look at me wrong or something like that, like,
oh wow,
like it's ridiculous. And I knew what it was. I had some things in my system. So I called myself. I was like, man, you chill out. You guys sitting at the table full of women. You just chill. You know what I'm saying? And so I left it alone. And I said, I need to get up and walk around. So I got up because I was sitting there. and then, you know what I'm saying, that's when things, you know, cooled off a little bit. But I'm relating to it because I've gone into them. It's almost like like you say, you space out. You start thinking about a situation that has not happened. What could have happened? What would have happened? And you just go off on that tangent.
So you done said that. You done said that because I'm going to tell you, bruh, that's funny. I don't know what part of the night that was. I'm telling you, I was right up the street. I was going to come by there and all of a sudden someone was just like, nah, don't go. I didn't know you were there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, Joe, hold up. But for you to say that, and when I was feeling too, when we got together in situations like that, they don't tell her what transpired.
Oh, man. Don't get two brothers who know the Most High together.
I'm talking about that other person.
What did the word say? The word said one will chase away 10,000 or something like that. Put to flight like 1,000. That's how the brother, and that's why I love that part of the word when he's talking about David's mighty men.
That's funny.
He's like, one man could chase away like 10,000. You know what I'm saying? It's like, young, when you know the Most High is with you, the world needs to back up. The world needs to back up, man. But All praise to his name. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't getting nothing else from today, it's to reestablish the fortitude of your faith and your trust in him, man. Know how magnificent Yahuwah is. Please know. You know what I'm saying? This brother got a chance to lay his eyes upon one of the greatest wonders that man will never fully understand, which is the sea. You know what I'm saying? And the exertions and the powers of storms. And we know who's in control of all these things, man. His evidence is everywhere of who he is and what he can do if you choose to observe him, man. And let this fortify you amidst these turbulent times, man. But don't run around scared of this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Of being infected by this virus and that, and this and that. Man, if the infection come, you know what I'm saying? Let the Most High work his thing on me and heal me. But if he don't, that's the mindset you got to have going through what we about to go through in these last days. You got to be prepared, man, mentally.
Don't be scared of the storm.
Please do not, man. Welcome it.
Yeah.
Embrace it.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
I told Dwayne when we riding up 295 that day, Barry Black prayed at the Capitol for something. A vicious storm kicked off outside, right? Me and Dwayne coming up past approaching like Blue Plains on 295, and you could see all hell breaking loose across the water. You approaching Barry Farms. I was like, look, man, we was going uptown. I said, I can go all the way around, or we can cut off and go through it. So which one you want to do? Is like, look, because you could see, you couldn't really see on the other side of the Potomac. You know what I'm saying? Anacostia, because it was just rain.
Yeah, it was coming.
And wind and stuff. I said, bro, and what was I driving? I can't remember what I was driving. It wasn't this. It was, I don't know what I was driving, but it wasn't this, I don't think. No, it wasn't that. He said, man, we can go through it. But he said it a little reluctantly. I was like, I immediately jumped on 695, went on. And bruh, the 695, that little, it was an elevated highway. You could see the building. Bro, you couldn't see nothing. It was just like a dark cloud over that area of the city right there. And it was raining hard as a mug. And the vehicle was rocking back and forth. I don't know if something touched down or not. I personally believe it's just a bunch of so much demonic activity going on inside that Capitol that day. It's created a storm. You know what I'm saying? But we rode through it. Yeah, I rode. I could have avoided that storm Friday coming back. But the Most High already told me, drive down the coast and then come up through Ocean City. It's sightseeing. You know what I'm saying? Rode through 3 more beaches. I didn't even know were there. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot shorter time than I thought it was going to be. Coming from Rehoboth to Ocean City. It only took about 40 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Coming down Coastal Boulevard. Like I said, sightseeing. I could have avoided the storm if I'd have went back the way I came. I probably still would have got hit because it was that big. You know what I'm saying? But I went right into that bad boy. This, you know what I'm saying, coming back, had no choice but to drive right into it. And it was a heck of an experience. I thank the Most High for the experience. You know, it did a number of different things for me. Got a chance to put a lot of stuff in perspective. Got to think about, you know what I'm saying, review a lot of my own actions, words. But again, don't be afraid of the storm. Don't be afraid of the wind and the rain, because, we know the one who controls the wind and the rain. You know what I'm saying? He literally is in control of everything.
You can tell him to shut up.
Everything. Peace be still.
Yep.
See, what manner of man is this that even the wind and the waves obey him? It's
He's sleeping. So I was like, where's your faith when he wakes up? Hold up. Oh man, what a story.
And that, to me, that's the most peaceful way to sleep, is during a storm. He was on a boat though.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, storm.
And it was filling with water.
Man, I play rain and thunderstorms on my phone or on the TV at night. That mess helped me go to sleep.
Yeah.
The sound. Yeah.
The sound of the water has always been soothing. Yeah, man.
This right here, Hosea, that's what I open up to, right? And chapter 1 of Hosea is not that long. But this is out of Tanakh, the word of Yahweh that came to Hosea, son of Beeri, in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, the kings of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel. The initial speech of Yahweh with Hosea. Yahweh said to Hosea, go take unto yourself a wife of harlotry, and begat children of harlotry. For the land is straying completely from following Yahweh. Go take unto yourself a wife of harlotry, and beget children of harlotry. For the land is straying completely from following Yahweh. So he went and took Gomer, daughter of Diblaim, and she conceived and bore him a son. Yahweh said to him, call his name Jezreel, for in a short while I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and I will terminate the monarchy of the house of Israel. It will happen on that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel. She conceived again and bore a daughter. And Elohim said to him, call her name Lo Ruama, no, not pitied. For I will no longer pity the house of Israel, that I should show them forbearance. But upon the house of Judah I will have mercy, and I will save them through Yahweh their Elohim. I will not save them with bow, with sword, with warfare, with steed, or with riders. She weaned Lo Ruama, and she conceived and bore a son. Elohim said, call his name Lo Ami, not my people. For you are not my people, and I will not be yours. I know I've read this before. I ain't see all that. So he basically preparing to cut Israel off. But he never turned his back on the house of Judah.
He scattered Judah.
He scattered them. Well, how's it read in that joint? Does it read the same way?
Yeah, just small variations. Like, say, get a woman of whoredoms and have children of whoredoms. But the names of the children is still the same. Lo Ruchama, I will no more have mercy upon the house of Yasharal, but I will utterly take them away. But I will have mercy upon the house of Yehuda, and will save them by Yahuwah Elohim. But I will not save them by bow, no sword, no battle, no horse, no horseman. Yeah, it's pretty consistent.
I will not save. What was highlighted in here that I opened up to is I will not save them with bow, with sword, with warfare, with steeds, or with riders.
That's what I got. Verse 7.
So it's not going to be what we're used to seeing. Matter of fact, he even says warfare. So I will not save them with bow, with sword, with warfare, with steeds, or with riders. He covered all every form of, I guess, started with bows and arrows. You got swords and whatever, all our warfare, tanks, planes, ships, or steeds with riders. Whatever the Most High gonna do. That's why I love the imagination he gave me. Because he showed me, and he giving us all these examples in movies. People want to stretch their imagination. He's talking about The Walking Dead and all these zombies. I told you, when the Most High decides, you remember that movie, Law Abiding Citizen, with Gerard Butler and Jamie Foxx?
I can't remember the plot.
Man, he shot this man with something that he said it basically it paralyzes him, but he feels everything. He can't move, but he can feel everything.
That's terrible.
And can you imagine when the Most High decides, right, to shut everything down? No, man, I'm not even gonna go there. But I see it. Can you imagine people just freezing in mid-stride or mid-sentence? Their eyes still work. They got every sense to the touch, but they can't move. And he allows his people to exact their revenge on his enemies and their own. This is a thought. He showed me something like that a while ago. And it's going to be, we've already seen how our people get down when it comes to battling, what they're capable of. We've seen what has been done to our ancestors. And he says, run after them double what they did.
I always think they was born to play sports and run track and do football. No. All that put to use by way of the Most High, you'd be forced to be reckoned with.
I'm looking at all that kindling walking around up there. All that kindling, all that human kindling. Just in a carrying the world, just swerving down, and they got it all figured out. Yeah, okay, we'll see. It's been already proclaimed and prophesied how this thing is going to end up. So Yahweh will not be mocked.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh man. Bow your head. Most High Yahweh, thank you for this opportunity to just rap with you for a little bit. Be with us as we go into this week, y'all. Go ahead of us into this week, and whatever type of madness the enemy has set aside, I ask that you dismantle it. Don't let it be effective at all in any way. And that's not just us, but our family members as well. Forgive us for our iniquities. Thank you for bringing myself Jeanette back safely from the beach, even through that massive storm that hit. Thank you for the storm. And thank you for these other experiences, good and bad, that we're going through for the purpose of training. And we talked about briefly this morning, y'all. I asked you be in our minds, thoughts. Help us to be a little more thorough in how we vet our thoughts and not dwell on too much that is not of you. Forgive us where we continue to do things that are not pleasing in your sight. Be with the studio, be with our families, protect us from ourselves. You know the prayer requests of your people, whatever was raised in the beginning. You know what your people are going through. And thank you for answered prayer, y'all. You've answered several prayers that we put out there. Thank you for allowing my father to be doing better in his recovery. And yeah. Thank you. In Yahweh's name. Amen.
Amen. It's been Real Talk 101, Devil Exposed on a Sunday afternoon, 2 to 4. Till the next time we meet, may Yah bless and keep you.
Seek truth, not the traditions of men.
As servants of the Most High, we must eagerly plant the seed. Understand we do not possess the power to make the seed grow, only the Father. The key being missed is the art of playing your position. Trust Yah to do what He said He will do. He will get the increase. He gets the credit. The Most High showed me the end result before I knew the path. And when I asked, He just said, follow me.
You see, cause push is what the doctor told mommy when she was birthing me. We push it, make it through tribulations and life adversities. A pusher is a term for a person selling narcotics. A pushover is what church is now cause of lack of knowledge. Information must be factual, literal, therefore actual. Be leery of the ones taking lies and making them practical. We have to pull the skirt up on shepherds who out there lying. If we don't, then there's a chance that we may all end up in frying. Gotta push to the limit, let's get it. If you a soldier, gotta love for the truth, and my passion just makes me bolder. Gotta crew rolling with me, we sticky, yeah, how was shot again. We holding us together through Him, there's nothing that we can't do. It's time, ask the question, who blessing me, where my help come from? Yeah, how I do it all through His word. Yeah, how was shot, son, let's get it. If you with it, go grab it so you can have it. Time for playing games, there's up tricks off for kids, you silly rabbit.
I pledge allegiance to the Most High, who is the Alpha and Omega. And through the blood of Yahweh Shai, His Son that died for me, I am reconciled to my Father in heaven. Under Yah, whose mercy is everlasting. One truth, if accepted, will bring salvation to all.
We gotta push to get truth from the people pushing us lies. Speaking of lies, you know the devil, he always come in disguise. A fancy suit, a nice physique, some money and pretty eyes, but he's a fire-breathing dragon who's helping on telling lies. In Revelations, there's this beast and he giving this soul a rise. She's dressed in purple and a scarlet, yeah, that be that whole disguise. It's all it represent the church or authority, telling lies. That be she riding on his roam. You better open up your eyes to water. Bahashim, yeah, I thank you for this blessing. Time to wake up from the sleep so we can teach that whole lesson. Less I feel traditional, the most I rock with spiritual. His Ruach here to help download this truth just like it's digital. We miserable and shattered, been that way since we've been scattered. Now y'all waking up as people, check this out, there's none equal. Most I knew what He was doing when He sent this strong delusion. Fall in love with seeking truth and He'll confirm this next conclusion. Strong
A
illusion.
physically powerful, morally vigorous, deeply rooted, false idea or theory, held persistently and abnormally, accepted as truth, especially by faith or authority rather than from personal knowledge, but is in fact a falsehood.
We gotta push to manage damage implanted by the satanic papal power. Yeah, that hoe giving gifts out just like she's Santa. Satan switch the N around and see just what I'm saying. And they gifts be wrapped in lies designed to spread their propagation. No more waiting, time to get up, get out. Wake up the nation, need a phrase from Yasharal or Azo Israel. Awaken, deacon sleeping sleeping, elders snoozing, the congregation be losing. Pastor serving wine from Babylon, got everybody moving. Think you know it, cause you older and done been in for a minute. Lack of knowledge while we perishing, no need to be offended. See, the truth is not rhetorical, it's timely in the season. When it's spitting proper format, there's no room left for deceiving or misleading, which result when ones insert their own opinion. Just like Adam when he tripped out and gave Hashatan dominion. We've been subject to the lie, but know this truth, it will prevail. I'ma love watching the devil and his whole crew burn in hell.